It's time to sip that coffee, get your mind right, and vibe with the queen herself. We're dishing out hot topics, wellness tips of the day, and things that make you go, Let's get this palace party started.
Yes, yes, yes. It is that time, y'all. We're going to get this palace party started. Listen, the queen normally does, I don't do morning shows typically, unless we're talking about something of importance, something corporate America. And I just had to spin the block on this conversation. All of this has ticked me off. The more I think about it, there's layers to this. Would you agree? Would you agree? And if this is your first time, welcome to the palace. I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. You know what I'm saying? This has really ticked me off. And for those of you that are tuned in, watching on Twitter, hello. Thank you for pulling up. I'm Queen Sheba, and this is the palace. We're going to tackle this thing today. The Breakfast Club. Jess is not happy. Jess hilarious. She's not happy. And neither are the people, y'all. The fans have spoken. The fans are not happy with the on-air confusion, with the drama of it all. Okay? Now let's be clear. I want to be clear. Y'all know damn well you would not do this at work. Call your job and tell them how you really feel. And let me know what happens tomorrow at 8 a.m. or 4 p.m. on Friday. Call your job and do what Jess Hilarious did to iHeart and let me know what happens. Okay? This is what I thought about. I said, we got to talk about this. There are so many layers to this. One of the layers that I'm going to take out and I'm not going to use as an argument and build a foundation on it because it's BS to me. A lot of people are saying Charlemagne and DJ Envy set that up and they're putting the girls against each other. That may be true, but Jess did not have to take the bait. Y'all act like women are special needs and women are not adults and women don't have choices. So are we fair and we equal or are we not, ladies? Walk me through it. Make it make sense. Are we fair and are we equal and are we wise and are we educated or are we not? Do men really have the power to make you go at another woman? You gonna forsake everything you know to be right, to be wrong, to be correct, to be intelligent, and because the man pushed it out there, we gonna ride with that. It's the men's fault. I'm not riding with that. So I'm gonna take that out. I can't use that. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna even do that to myself. I'm not gonna use that. A man can do whatever the hell he wanna do. That don't mean I have to spray my homegirl or my coworker. A man can do what he wanna do. I don't have to say nothing. And the fact that Just said that Charlemagne told her, you know what? Don't tell her to be quiet. Tell her to shut up. Okay. I'm not doing it. I'm not berating another woman on air, another Black woman, intelligent woman on air. I ain't telling her to shut up. And I'm not telling her to be quiet. So I'm going to take that out. I can't even do that. That to me, that's a low-hanging fruit. That's the first thing. The second thing is, it's not so much for me. The argument is how she felt. Okay. It's how she did it. It's not what you feel. It's how you expressed yourself. Listen, are her feelings valid? Yeah. All of our feelings are valid to us. But you cannot go on a social media rampage and expect people to be okay with that type of delivery. That's the second thing. The third thing is so some people are saying, well, I think it's postpartum depression. Okay, maybe this time, but what about the other times? What excuse are we giving? So we didn't came up, it's the men's fault. It's the fact that she was on maternity leave. It's the fact that it could be postpartum depression. But what about all the other times? Okay. I'm just saying, what about all the other times? when she's acted a fool on her own? What about the time she didn't care when they were interviewing Wendy Williams? And she could have cared less. That's my dog in the background drinking water. He would want to drink water when I get up here. I'm just saying. So, and then the other thing is, I think what y'all really don't want to talk about, what it comes down to, because they're saying it. This is a perfect example of where Black women could have came together and made magic, but you got one Black woman hating on the other. That's it. That's all. Can I click off now? You got one Black woman hating on the other. This ain't really about her position and her job. This is about Loren being there. This is about Loren. She don't like her. She feels intimidated. Because another woman is there. We gonna get down to it. We not gonna sugarcoat it. Y'all like to pretend y'all don't see stuff. We hate talking about the elephant in the room. Jess Hilarious has a problem with Lauren LoRosa at the end of the day, period, point blank. She underestimated Loren, and she effed around and found out that Loren is more than capable of doing not only her job, but yours. Yeah, you may have beat her out in the first round draft pick, but she walked you down like a 4x1 relay. And not because she had anything against you. It's just her God-given natural talent. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's what it comes down to. Can Black women really get along? Both of them had great opportunities. There is no excuse for Jess Hilarious to behave that way. If Loren can button herself up and not go to hell off on Jess Hilarious, who tells her to be quiet and shut up and hush publicly, online, in front of thousands of viewers, and now I'm going to say millions because that stuff gets replayed over and over and over. That's disrespect. And if Loren can contain her feelings and can contain her emotions, then guess what? Jess does not get a pass. Why do we excuse bad behavior? Why does one get to go off and do whatever the hell she wants and the other one has to sit and take it? I'm not cool with that. That's unacceptable. But we don't like to talk about the unacceptable behaviors. We don't like to talk about, I don't give a damn how you feel, Jess. You're wrong. To feel it is one thing. And to behave that way is another thing. We're going to get into it because, and I'm opening up the lines. I'm going to open up the lines. Y'all, I'm just talking. Listen, it's going to be a good discussion because we're going to get down to the thick of it. Now, as I think about, this whole Breakfast Club debacle between the two ladies, it's a perfect example of when women are not promoted. Why people hesitate to promote within the organization. What do you mean, Queen Sheba? What are you talking about? Let me take a sip of my coffee. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. We do corporate segments on Wednesday morning. And this is not, listen, if it don't apply, let it fly. Oops, upside the head. I'm going to throw a rock in the crowd. And if you throw a rock in the crowd, they say somebody going to holler. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to anybody in particular. We do corporate segments. And a lot of times over the past, I don't know how many years, I've heard numerous women say, I have not been promoted. I've given my all, my best to the job. Jess Hilarious is a perfect example of when and how a woman could be in a workplace for years and she doesn't see that progressive promotion. She doesn't feel valued and honored and recognized. She doesn't feel appreciated. And sometimes nobody else is going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you, it's your attitude. It's your posture. It's your way of thinking. It's your inability to get along with others. It's your inability to control yourself, to step up to the plate. That's why I said she's not qualified for the role. It's beyond the skill set. There's a lot that qualifies you. And she sees herself and she's wondering, what the hell are you doing with me? Let me tell you something. It has nothing to do with her maternity leave, to be honest with you. That may be a technicality to shift for the organization to shift and pivot. But let me tell you, when you're overlooked like that, and when they're kind of shifting and making moves around you, they're trying to figure out how to push you out or just let you stay. You know what I mean? Until you leave. So to me, I believe she's a perfect example of when women are not promoted. Not all women, but some. And you wonder why. It's behaviors like this. It ain't about being fake. So now she got to be fake in a workplace. It is not about being fake. It's about being qualified. It's about understanding what you're up against. It's about knowing how to carry yourself. You cannot be all that you can be every day, all day. Be your entire self and take your entire self to work like that. Absolutely. No, ma'am. Miss Pam. I've said it over and over again. If you decide to do corporate America, then do corporate America. What does that mean? Play the freaking game and stop complaining. You cannot share your true thoughts with your coworkers. You cannot share your true thoughts with your coworkers, Jess. And you say, y'all ain't never defended me, baby. Those are your coworkers, not your friends. Those are your coworkers. So first of all, your expectations. That's what I said, not qualified. She's not qualified. She doesn't even have the right expectations in a corporate setting. In the corporate setting. Defend you for what? From what? Get in the game, coach. Get in the game, Jess. You are in a corporate environment. You're in a corporate facility. You cannot personalize. You got to suck it up. You got to out strategy them. You got to figure out how you're going to maneuver. It's not their job. They're not your personal friends. It may feel friendly. It may feel familiar, but you are forgetting you are at work. I don't care if you're in a workplace 20 years, 20 minutes, or 20 weeks. Oftentimes, 9 times out of 10, when you leave, the phone calls slow down, the lunch invites slow down. Child, guess what happened? Text slow down. And it's expected. The relationships quietly end. So I think her level of expectation is unrealistic in the workplace. That's the other thing, right? You cannot share your true thoughts and feelings in the workplace. Black folks, we get way too comfortable and wonder why we cannot surpass a certain level, a certain threshold, a certain pay scale. We too emotional outwardly. I'm not saying don't be. I'm not saying don't feel. I'm saying tuck it in. Tuck it in. You tuck it in at church. You tuck it in anytime, anywhere else. Tuck it in. She's getting too comfortable. You getting too sloppy, Jess. You did. Tuck it in. Button up. Step up. It ain't fair for Loren to have to step down and become invisible for Jess to feel confident and supported. That's crazy to me. If you really think about the ask and don't just think about, y'all are thinking maternity, maternity, maternity. Loren was asked to not come in a room that Jess was in. And y'all are forgetting that, but I'm going to get into it. We get way too comfortable. Jess, she is and she has been out of order for quite some time. And ain't nobody called it. We allow each other to do the fool with each other and sit back and watch it. And ain't nobody called it. Poor Loren, my heart goes out to you because you had to swallow that over and over and over again because another woman felt some kind of way in her head about you sitting across the table from her. And she felt like you were coming for her position. And Loren ain't got nothing to do with that at the end of the day, to be honest with you. But she's making it about Loren. And that's what I said. This is girl on girl attack. Jess is making this about Loren when this is really Jess versus Jess. These are your insecurities. This is your lack of knowing what's next. Don't beat up on Loren. Put some time on the right person's calendar and ask for that one-on-one. To me, what this says to me, in my opinion, you're not that confident. You don't feel confident. And I don't know if this is true or not. This is just my belief. Maybe you don't feel confident really sitting down with an executive and airing out your grievances, like your grievances. Maybe you feel better in the boxing ring. You're more comfortable with that style of communication as opposed to formal communication where you're going to have to prepare, like they say, prepare. You cannot ask an executive for their time and be all over the place. See, this is about preparation, confidence, because if maybe, because they say one of the things that the viewers have noticed, now she still has a job that she does not come prepared for. She still has a job after she didn't cuss somebody out who called to give her the rundown of the show. Too comfortable. Way too comfortable, way too unprofessional. And we as a people co-sign that mess all the time and expect somebody to show up and support that and say, well, she has every right. No, she don't. Not like that. Not in the workplace. You can't call your coworker. Let somebody call you before a meeting to say, hey, do you have that PowerPoint ready? And you say, bitch, get off my line. I'm asleep. Excuse my language. Don't call my damn house. You know it's lunchtime. You knew I was taking my nap. And let me know if you have a job tomorrow. Try it. Y'all know that lady wrong. Pardon my language, but I have to give it to you real. Y'all know that's wrong. You know that's unacceptable. Try it. If you believe she has the right to do it and she's in the right, then do it tomorrow. Do it on your next meeting. Do it on your next meeting, I bet you. And record it. And if you do and keep your job, I'll give you $500. I need it recorded. I need to hear the other person gasp. I need to hear it. And if you still have a job a week after that, I'll give you $500. No questions asked. Because you know it's wrong. So let me move on. Jess is out of order. She's been out of order. I'm not co-signing that mess. That's a toxic work environment that she's created, period. But we've been conditioned to sit back and allow people to have outbursts. You can't do that at work. Hell, don't nobody want to deal with all that. Men sometimes have a bit more tolerance, but I'm concerned about Loren. What about Loren and the blows and the disrespect she's taken? Ain't nobody talking about how Loren must feel. You've worked with difficult people before. You know how it feels to have a bully in the workplace. You know how you've gone home before, crying, praying, seeking relief. Come on, y'all. Ain't nobody worried about Loren. That's my concern. What about her well-being? What about how she feels about being manhandled by Jess on air and have to sit there and take it all because Jess feels some kind of way. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody talking about the impact of that. The more polished one has to take the insults. The more polished one has to stay in her place and can't say nothing bad. The more polished one has to be told and it's allowed to shut up. Hush. I done told you about that before. You ain't gonna overtalk me. The more polished one can't say anything because it's not a good look. That's not cool. That's not cool. But hold on. We're not talking about that. It's not fair to Loren. She has feelings too. She's a human being too. She matters in this situation too. Everybody is amplifying Jess and what Jess needs and Jess's concerns. Has anybody checked on Loren at the Breakfast Club? Check out. I'm more concerned with Loren because she's doing and saying all of the right things and her heart could be broken on the inside. She could be on her last straw looking for another job, a place that she enjoys working because this one is out of control. This one doesn't feel confident. This one has the nerve to go on air and say, I don't really like her. No, we let too much slide. That's not cool. I don't like her. What's she doing here? What about her mental health? When she was asked to leave work, ain't did nothing wrong, but asked to leave work for a while so Jess could feel more confident. What about her mental health? When she's asked not to come in the room so Jess wouldn't feel like her job was threatened. You go stay in the room. Let a white person ask you to say yourself in a room because a white woman feels uncomfortable around y'all. All hell would break loose in the workplace. Am I lying? If this was a black woman and a white woman, and the white woman came back from maternity leave and says, what is she still doing here? We would call it racism. But because it's two black women, it's valid. We validate the BS. Check your vibe. Check your vibe. If you wouldn't tolerate it from a man or another race, you shouldn't tolerate it from another black woman. Jess is out of line. I don't give a damn. She's out of line because that's why I said if it were a white woman and Loren was asked to not come in that room, y'all would be marching in New York, catching flights, organizing a protest. Are we kidding? What are we supporting here? It's the same thing. Just a different skin tone. Wrong is wrong, right is right. What if a white woman got online and says she don't like you? She recommended you, but she really don't like you. You were supposed to be gone. What are you still doing here? Y'all playing. We finna do this in 2025? For real? Okay. We finna do this in 25, 20. We finna let Loren stay out there like that and play like Jess is right? Okay. All right. Yeah. That's crazy to me. Get out of here. It is. This cannot be life for us. This cannot be real life. And it ain't. It ain't real life. Because it wouldn't happen anywhere else. Period, point blank. It wouldn't happen anywhere else. Come on, y'all. Well, the fans had a lot to say. Okay. Jess is too heavy, in my opinion. She's too heavy. You know what I mean? She's got to find her sweet spot. And that may not be at the Breakfast Club. Let me say this last thing before I show you the clips of the fans. Jess is asking for a million things. She's asking for a lot. But my question to you, what has she done to support the team? You're asking for a lot. You've been asking for a lot. But what have you done for the team lately? I'll wait. Loren has given more than Jess has. She's been asked, don't come in this room. Okay. Can you not come in? Can you work from home a couple of days? Okay. She sacrificed herself to make another black woman comfortable. She's minimized herself so that another woman won't feel insecure. That's crazy to me. Anybody else will have a lawsuit. Anybody else, if it was done to you by a white woman, you would have an EEOC claim. That's a bias. You cannot ask somebody to stay in a room. And the fact that they said that out loud publicly, y'all, they're walking themselves. That's abuse. That's abuse of Loren. Shut up. Hush. That is abuse in the workplace. Now, you can do that at home, but you're not at home. That's all I'm going to say. Let's get into it, child. Hold on. Let's get into it. And then I'm going to open up the lines. Here we go. I think everybody can see what I have on the screen. And good morning to everybody. I see y'all. I see everybody. Good morning, ladies. Sugar, the Estet, Shay P. Who else we got? Shorten, April Lang. Welcome. Who else we got? Keys in Motion to Latrice, my moderator. Linda Gamble is up in the building. Ebony the Best is here. I'm just calling out random names, y'all, as I'm scrolling. Angela Jean. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let me play this clip really quick, and then I'm going to play another clip of the viewers calling in. I think that was an excellent strategy by the Breakfast Club to allow the fans to speak their piece, and it was real. Here we go.
Okay, just hilarious. Baby, you work in corporate America now. This is not just social media. You are now a corporate employee. I want you to hear this, okay? What you did last night was probably one of your worst moves that you can ever make. Number one, you let your emotions take control. That's step number one. You don't ever do that, okay? Emotionally, no matter what you are feeling, you keep it intact, okay? You are not an individual. This is not your individual thing. You are now an employee inside of a corporation. That's exactly what iHeartMedia is. And there are proper channels that you need to take your distress to. If you have an issue that she has overstayed her welcome, or maybe there's a confusion on roles, there's a proper way and a proper channel to handle that. Charlemagne and Envy are employees. While they may have their own interests and business, and they may have a little pool inside of their studio, iHeartMedia owns the Breakfast Club at the end of the day. So whoever your issue is with, it needs to be with the people in the background who are running these things behind the scenes, and have a conversation with y'all program director, the higher ups. Those are the people that you need to be having a conversation with, not the trolls online, because they finna cost you to lose their good ass job.
And I just saw a comment, period. I just saw a comment where it says, hold on. T says, stop telling Black women to suffer in silence. I don't recall anybody telling Black women to suffer in silence. What we said is go through the proper channels. You can't spaz out online and call that asking for support. That's not suffering in silence. That's a full-blown temper tantrum, T. That was wrong. And what are you suffering from if you're attacking another woman because you don't like her on the job? You want her gone. So what Loren is actually the one that's suffering in silence. And Loren utilized her resources in the workplace and scheduled a meeting with the executive producer to sit down and try to hash it out as a mediator. Just didn't want that. Everybody pulled her aside. There's been more than one occasion where they've asked her, how can we support you? What can we do? You know why she couldn't suggest anything? Because she knew it was wrong to say fire Loren. But that's what she really wanted. Get Loren out of here. That's what she really wanted. So what are y'all's thoughts about? Do you feel like, and I want to be fair, do you feel like we're asking Jess to suffer in silence? Do you feel like the fact that people are saying her outbursts or the way that she brought it to the table on air crashed out the night before, that our expectation is for her to suffer? Keep it real. Be honest. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Erica says no, suffering in silence. Jess is underperforming and not doing her job. She was. If she was, Loren would need to be there. Valerine says we lose. Hold on. Sorry. We lose a lot in these situations because we get emotional first and crash out instead of strategizing. Take a deep breath. That's it. Take a deep breath. Sit down. Process the feelings. And what will be the next step after that? Is it a phone call? Is it a conversation? Is it Lord? Because they've already tried that with her. So what is it that you really want? And what you really want, you know you can't say, I really don't want her here. That's what you really want. Because she said it out of her mouth, y'all. Why is she still here? The first day on the job, Loren was asked to go home. Because Jess said, why is she still here? So Loren was asked to leave. So we doing that? Okay. All right, let's continue on. The callers call in. Here we go. Let me see if y'all can see this real quick. And if so, I'll start it. Let me see if y'all can see it. Oh, yeah, we got it here. Let's take off the comments. We're going to play. The Breakfast Club allowed the callers to call in, the viewers to call in and give their opinion. I thought that was really nice.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LoRosa here as well. Charlamagne usually does Donkey of the Day here.
I didn't prepare it. There was too much going on this morning. You know what I mean? Because of a young lady named Jessica Robin Moore, okay? And you need to answer the phone for your mama, too.
No,
right?
yo,
yes.
I call her leader.
Yes, okay. But, you know, we just having some family discussions up here on the radio this morning. That's all.
Yep, we're taking your phone calls. Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Odell from the Bronx.
Hey, Odell from the Bronx. Talk to us. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Jess has a problem. Jess has a point. I'm on Jess' side because Loren came in to fill in with her. And I love Loren. And I love her segment and everything. But if y'all going to add it to the show, add it to the show legitimately. If she's a producer, let her keep playing the background.
Okay, thank you. She's not a producer, though, but not anymore. But thank you.
Well, no, she's still a senior news producer.
But she also does on air segment as well.
Here's the problem.
What?
We don't know what.
I think that's mean. Put her in the background. Just has a point. So if Loren is a producer, put her in the background. Keep her out. Y'all, I mean, what are your thoughts? Loren is not a toy. Loren is a human being. And everybody keeps kind of using Loren as their punching bag. Yeah, she's a producer and she's taken on. She's not only a producer, according to DJ Envy, he says she's taken on additional roles. Okay. You know what they've probably discovered? Her skill set is diverse. They can plug her here, they can plug her there, they can plug her everywhere. She was hired to produce, but they discovered that she's talented. Is that a crime? Is that a crime? Does this not happen in the workplace all the time? Have y'all not taken on additional roles in the workplace when they've discovered that you're multifaceted? You have. The only issue is what that pay looking like. How much we talking about here? How long am I expected to do it? So that's not a crime. Let's continue. But listen to what Charlamagne has to say. Okay, Shay P says that's why Jess is intimidated. Could be. Jen Wash says to me, it not put in the background. Oh, it doesn't mean put her in the background, but give her her own spot. If that's the case, inform me. Okay, good point. Good point. Let's continue.
I don't know what the hell she does. And that's what Jess is trying to say.
Yes.
We need the communication. That's all it is. I'm not, you know what, let me shut up.
Hello, who's this?
What's going on, big dog?
What's up? Talk to us.
Hey, man, y'all doing a good job, right?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with this, being that it wasn't clearly communicated what foreign role was going to be.
Mm.
At the same time, y'all don't need to be having behind-the-scenes meeting. Not professional. And just can't let the...
Everyone knows you need a lawyer. After
One
a car
second,
accident.
everybody.
But what if
I had to mute it while we're going through the commercial. Here we go. We're back.
It's very public. You said yourself, when coming on, you negotiated your pay. You got the pay you wanted. You got the job you wanted. You got the baby. You might be dealing with a little postpartum, but everything's still good. Loren is good. That's why I got her there.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So what's the problem?
What do you think about what this caller just said? He said, listen, y'all are doing a really good job. Both of you. You're good. You negotiated your worth and your contract. You're there. You got the job. You got the baby. What he said, basically saying you have the American dream. Not only are you good, Loren is good too. What's the problem? He's asking her. You recommended her to fill in for you in the interim while you were out on maternity leave. What's the problem? That's a great question. Let's see what she says.
The internet?
I don't know how
He said, is it the internet?
I feel about you diagnosing people with postpartum. I don't know.
Just go with it.
But I agree with you. Everybody got to stop listening to the comments.
Hello, who's this?
Yeah, this is Zach, man, from Brooklyn. What's going on?
What's up, man? Talk to us. What's your thoughts?
Yo, man, I'll take, you know what? With Loren, when she came on with y'all, man, it made it more stronger, man. Y'all got to learn to work together. Yeah, that's a marvelous team y'all got right there, man. Y'all just got to figure out this segment. Let Jess do the just the mess. Let Lauren do the news portion of it, and y'all just rock on, man. Okay. Man, don't let that shit get you outside. Y'all doing a great job. I love y'all, man. I listen to y'all every day.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. And see, this is why I like the radio.
He's saying, oh, that was another man calling in. Solutioning, men's solution. Men's solution, Charlemagne. Men's solution, DJ Envy. But to be honest with you, that's not their job. They don't call those kind of shots behind the scenes. It's iHeartRadio makes those decisions. And y'all, anytime nobody can clearly define to you what your role is, you may not have one, to be honest. They're trying to figure out. And I'm not talking about Charlemagne, and I'm not talking about DJ Envy. I'm talking about the organization and or the corporation. That man just said, listen, simple solution. Just you do the mess, Loren cover the news. The problem is Jess doesn't want Loren there. Let's continue.
Radio, because unlike the comments, it's real people, going to work every day, and they going to tell you the truth. These ain't these people in the comments that just want to troll you, and it could be bots. Like, these are real people, and they love y'all.
That's right.
They love what you do, Jess. They like Loren. They learning to love Loren too. So it's all good. And I do wonder just a little bit. This is my personal opinion. Loren comes in here with a lot of different wigs. Do you feel like you can't ever connect with her because it's like talking to a different person every single time?
Maybe she can't reach the hairline that's not existent over there.
I'm just asking a question, Loren. Okay.
Yes.
What?
It's not Lauren's wigs.
Okay, I'm just asking. I just want to know. Okay,
I connect with Loren anyway.
Okay.
He's trying to lighten the mood. They've been talking. Remember, this has gone on over an hour, right? Yesterday morning. If you haven't, it's a really good segment. Go back and watch it. So he's saying, what's the problem? And he tried to lighten the mood. Is it the different wigs that Loren is wearing? Basically saying, how come you don't like Loren? What's the problem with Loren being a part of the team? That's what he's asking, just in a different manner.
Like anywhere, any wig. Like, stop playing.
All right. Hello, who's this?
Hi.
Hello, what's your name, Mama?
My name is Keith.
Your phone sounds so crazy. Can you take us off Bluetooth or speaker, whatever you got us on?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Good morning.
Yes, it's Keith calling from Atlanta.
Hey, good morning. What's your thoughts?
Okay, so first of all, I only started back listening to the show because of Jess. Congratulations on your baby, Jess.
Thank you, baby.
From the get-go, yes, the whole situation has been awkward. Y'all not gonna sit up here and play Jess like she didn't come back from maternity leave and have somebody in her seat that just would not get up, or y'all didn't even address the situation like, okay, we got somebody new we're gonna introduce on top of Jess. She came back and the girl never left. How's she supposed to feel?
Well, you don't.
So this lady calls in and she says, listen, y'all not going to play in Jess's face. Y'all not going to play like she didn't go off on maternity leave and this girl is still here. Poor Loren. I keep saying everybody's focused on Jess and Loren is taking shot after shot, hit after hit. What about her mental health? Loren ain't did nothing but do her job. Loren ain't did nothing but do her job and did what her organization asked her to do. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all let me know if you're coming in? So now, Jess is saying, why is she here? Another lady saying, why is she still there? Ouch. That has to hurt for Loren. She getting slung around like a rag doll. Okay, let's continue.
Well, you don't know the whole story. Tell her, you want to fill in some blanks, Jess?
Do I want to fill in blanks?
Well, no, I was just going to say, number one, Jess picked Loren.
Watch this part. Charlemagne says to the caller, you don't know the whole story. Why? So they're talking about Loren like she's just some Looney Tune from the street. Charlemagne interjects to say, you don't know the whole story. He says, do you want to tell them the story? Jess, pay very close attention regarding Jess's hesitation.
Loren.
Yes.
Jess said, hey, when I'm on maternity leave, I want Loren.
And then, but even when I say that, it's like, I don't want it to come off like, oh, the only reason that she's even, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want to seem like I'm
but you did make a choice. And also
I did, but it was just weird. You know what I'm saying? How
she can't even own up to the fact that you handpicked Loren. Accountability for crashing out. Accountability, you handpick Loren. Oh, I don't want to say that now. You've been saying you crashed out. You said it the night before. You said it earlier in the conversation. You have a problem highlighting Loren in a positive. Why? Because you don't like her. And that's what it comes down to. Oh, y'all, I messed up. Sorry about that. Hold on, give me 1 second. I accidentally, that was an accident. I accidentally put it in a place.
You want to fill in some blanks, Jess?
I want to fill in blanks.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, number one, Jess picked Loren.
Yes,
Jess said, "Hey, when I'm on maternity leave, I want Loren."
And then but even when I say that, it's like I don't want it to come off like, oh, the only reason that she's even, you know what I'm saying? Like I just don't want to seem like I'm.
But you did make a choice, and also
I did, but it was just weird. You know what I'm saying? How when I came back, like this young lady just said, when I came back, it was just like, all right, if she's expected to be the fourth host or whatever, let's bring her in, or let's create her own segment. Let's legitimately do it. Let's officiate it. You feel me? Like, why is it only when I gotta talk, or when I, on my segment and things like that? It could have been done a whole nother way. It could have been bought to.
Okay, so basically what she's saying is she's uncomfortable with Loren being the fourth co-host of the morning show. And if that's what we're doing, I need y'all to tell me that formally. Let me tell you how corporations work. They don't have to tell you ish. If she's in the room, she's there. It's nice. They should. It will be great. It's seamless. It's supposed to be seamless. In a perfect world, you want to come back from maternity leave and you want them to tell you everything they're doing with Loren. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, because that is another employee. Her role, her responsibilities, you do not have access to, y'all. I'm sorry. That's not how corporate America works. We hope they do. Normally, if you hire somebody, they're being hired as a secretary, or administrative assistant, whatever. But as they start to get promoted, the organization may or may not put out an announcement that you may or may not receive a notification for whatever reason. You may not. Okay, let's continue.
To me, while I was been on maternity leave, that we wanted to bring her in permanently to be on the show and not just a producer.
I don't think we even came to that conclusion yet.
She wasn't supposed to be the fourth host. She was supposed to be a
from
producer.
the time y'all auditioned. Jess was going to be the host. Loren was going to be the senior news producer.
Yes,
that was always the plan. When you came back from maternity leave and Loren was.
What Jess is asking for is none of her business, to be honest with you. I don't have to tell you if Loren is permanent or if she's temporary. That's none of your business. Her employment status. They don't owe her that. Now, if they give her that, that's really nice. We need to understand what's best practice and when we're asking for extras. I'm just saying they don't owe you that to give you. She's not even asking for her own status. That's what everybody's missing. She's asking, what do y'all plan on doing with Loren? They probably won't do that. They're probably not going to give you all of that information. And Loren has probably been asked to not reveal it openly yet until they get you situated. And they've probably said, and I'm not talking about DJ Envy or Charlemagne. I'm talking about the higher ups, the way this works. This is okay. Thank you, Tisha. Tisha say this is real talk. The company is in charge, period. They are, y'all. There are certain things you cannot say or announce before the organization is ready. See, Jess is so used to being unorganized and out of pocket, she prematurely announced her formal position on this station before the radio station was ready to do it. So now she expects to have inside information regarding what's going on with Loren. That's unrealistic. It's an unreasonable expectation. They can't tell you what's going on with Loren. You're not Loren's boss.
Lauren was here, the senior news producer. When you started to bring her in to do some of the litigious stuff.
Yeah, the court things. Yes.
I thought the segment was just evolving naturally. Like, I thought y'all were having those conversations. Y'all was putting that together. I didn't know it was an issue.
But in real time, are you realizing that like there not possibly, but there should have been some more guidelines laid out, like structured stuff?
Yeah, once everybody figured out exactly what it is they wanted to do.
Yeah, but I think even if like, because for me, as the person that like, I'm watching all this in real time, I know Jess feels away. I don't know what's happening either. I was also like, okay, what's happening? But I was just going with the flow. But I felt like going with the flow made it kind of like was like when you got a bruise and you keep touching it. So it's like it's hurting more. And then we just not talking about it. But like I didn't know what else to do because we ain't talking about it. And we figuring it out.
And when I realized you didn't know what was going on either because we had a conversation, that's when I told you, Ario, my anger is misplaced. Like
that's crazy. So Loren felt the same way. Two women feeling the same way, uncertain about roles and responsibilities. The difference is Loren, they call it nimble. She was nimble. They love a nimble worker. Nimble is, I need you to go that way. I know it's not your role. Okay, I need you to do that. You know what? Don't prioritize that today. We're going to push that back. That's not a priority. And Loren was nimble. She had a lot of questions, but she sat back and she waited. She waited. She says, yeah, we could clean it up a little bit. Are there questions? Are there uncertainties about my particular roles and responsibilities? Am I handling a lot? Yes, I am. But I went with the flow of what? The organization, right? Jess doesn't have Jess, I'm sorry, I'm calling her Jess. Jess doesn't necessarily seem to have questions about herself. Her questions are directly related to Loren. And I'm sorry, that ain't none of your damn business. That's the first thing. And then she sits here and she says, when I realized, Loren, that you may have felt the same way. Basically, what she's saying is that's when I stopped attacking you. That's crazy to me. You shouldn't have attacked her in the first place. You shouldn't have attacked her in the first place. How about that?
Like, I'm mad at her when I shouldn't be mad at her. Like, and it was made to look like that from the jump. And it was just like, it was no coming back from even when I started being cool with her. Like, you know what? No, she, you know, and she's helpful and she helps with questions, with interviews and all of that, helps conduct the news and the details and stuff. I'm like, all right, but it's still no communication. Now I'm just cool with her, but we still don't know what's going on.
I agree.
But you never apologized to her. You just described that you backed up off of her. You used her as your emotional punching bag. And then what you said, but it was kind of hard to come back after that. Yeah. Yeah. You think?
So it's just weird. It's being in a weird space with it.
Well, how do we resolve this? Because we got to get it to AJ and Tressa.
I think we're figuring it out in real time. You know what I'm saying? But I do want Jess and Loren to know that I think when it comes to that latest with Loren segment, they can work together. And Jess, you know, you are the third co-host for the Breakfast Club for a reason. And we are going to continue to restructure this show and, you know, turn this show in what it needs to be so you can really get your stuff. And, you know, we've had these conversations.
But I think that was part of the meetings that we've been having behind the scenes that we've been talking about and making sure that everybody feels comfortable. Everybody is seen, everybody's heard. That's what I think part of those conversations were.
And I think y'all both got strengths, you know, like what Jess does, Loren don't do. What Loren does, Jess don't do. And I think that complements, you know, I think y'all complement each other very, 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 very well. And I think both of y'all can have so much success on this show. But we got to stop letting the internet dictate how we move.
I agree with everything Charlamagne said up until that point when he said we have to stop allowing the internet to dictate. No, the internet ain't did nothing but internet. The internet is interneting. Just dictated your interactions. You got to call it out. And I understand you probably don't want to do that on air because it was a heated discussion, but somebody needs to pull her aside and say, in order for this thing to work, you're gonna have to tighten up. You're gonna have to button up. There's a decorum that we expect. When you're not happy, there's a way, there's systems and processes that we have that you can utilize. Put some time on my calendar. Let's do a one-on-one. But you cannot do what you did. And I think when we start saying people don't want to see y'all, you got to put the responsibility where it belongs. And that's on Jess. She misstepped several times. We're not just focusing on the crash out. We're focusing on before then and before then and before then. They're trying to work with her. He says, we're going to figure it out. I think we can all work together. Both of you are great in your own right. Both of you shine in so many different ways. That's, if we just tell the truth, just don't want Loren there, period. She has a problem with another woman being added on because she thought she was going to be the only one.
Cannot listen to the comments. Cannot listen to these people on YouTube creating these narratives because they're gonna pit each other. They're gonna pit y'all against each other every chance they get until they can't no more.
But I told that to Jess and I told that to Lauren and I tell that to anybody up here. They try to pit me and Charlamagne against each other 1,000,001 times. They will try. Yeah. You just hump me more, but they try as much as possible. But they will try. They'll try to pit y'all two against each other. They'll try to pit me and you against each other. Just
now, it's the internet's responsibility. Now, all of this is because of the internet. Okay.
They'll try to put Jess and Charlamagne. That's what the internet does. For half the time, I don't even think it's a face. But we can't let those people online dictate what we do. Like F those people. Like we gotta really just open our arms to the people that support us, that love us, that love listening to us, that enjoy, that know the show. The rest of these people just gonna poke just for that.
That's why I love having this conversation.
All right, and that was it. I thought it was pretty cool how they was able to open up the lines and allow the viewers to come in. I would like to do the same. I just ask that you keep your comments between 60 to 90 seconds so that we can give everyone a chance to express just your thoughts, but we got to keep it between 60 to 90 seconds. If you are not able to, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut you off in one of the most fun, innovative, light ways. If you are talking and this man comes on while you are in the middle of cooking, that means you exceeded your time limit. If that nice little white man comes on while you're talking, gotcha. You went past your time. The Daily Rundown. Thank you. Your super chat, 10 Piece and a Pepper says, thank you for your grace and patience. Also, thanks for your grace and patience. Also, I think both women bring value to the Breakfast Club. They need to focus on making good product and less argument. I have to agree. I think that's a fair ask. Welcome, Fruit Gummy. Good morning. What are your thoughts on this conversation, Chad?
Good morning, Queen. Good morning, Palace. I will say that I felt that it was so disheartening to hear, like, from the callers, the difference in the women perspective and the men perspective. And I feel like that's what got Jess caught up. It was too much feelings involved. Even if she felt like it wasn't clear, even if she felt all that she felt, you still should have handled yourself in a more professional manner and go to HR. And for the people in the comments that were saying, oh, well, I understand and whatever, no organization or leadership has to tell you what their strategic vision or what they're going to do until they do it. Try what Jess did on your job and tell me how that worked out for you. And I said what I said.
All right, Fruit Gummy, feel free to hang out as a priority panelist. Let me go to the Estet Noir. Welcome, Queen.
Hey, Queen, Palace, chat, everyone. I'll keep this really quick. Ditto to what Fruit Gummy said. Executives do not have to outline any type of vision or course of action for the job or for your position. You know when they want you to know. And if Jess would spend more time becoming more versed in that industry, talk radio, film presence, etc., and make herself more of a triple threat, she wouldn't be thrown off her square by someone like Loren. If anything else, she would partner up with Loren and say, you know what? Now this is how Black girl magic happens, because what you lack, where your deficit is where I can pick it up. And we both solidify a spot and raise the level. And I said what I said.
And she said what she said. I think that's beautiful. I feel like if Jess had just worked with Loren, even the mornings that Loren would call her and, I'm going to call you at 4 a.m. We got a show in the next, 2 hours. You know why she called her at 4 a.m.? So that you can have enough time to prepare. You can have the facts straight. You will look organized. Man, if Jess would have been open to working with Loren, they would have knocked that ball out of the park. I have to agree with you, the Estette Noir. I have to.
Absolutely, because the thing is this. Employers are always looking for new emerging talent to take them to the next level in their vision. If you can fill in that gap before they realize there's a gap, you've solidified yourself. And you've opened yourself up to new opportunities. In my opinion, I feel like Jess has really extinguished, new opportunities for herself and opened the door wide open for Loren.
Excellent point. Very positive and excellent. And you gave a strategy. And I hope they're listening. You never know. Feel free to hang out, Queen. I know sometimes you have to hop in and out, but you're more than welcome to hang out as a priority panelist.
Thank you.
The review hour. I see you, Hershey, stand by for me. The review hour. Welcome. What are your thoughts, Queen?
Hello. Good morning. Excuse me.
Good morning.
I'm in the car driving, and hopefully it's not too noisy. Well, I see something a little different than you where this situation is concerned. But two things can be right at the same time as well. I do believe that Jess Hilarious took the wrong approach to air out her grievances. No, you don't do that. So she needs to polish up on that. But she has every right to feel the way that she feels if she noticed the change after she returned to work from maternity leave. Now, I look at the Breakfast Club like a plantation, because you look back at their history. They did Angela Yee the same way, and she took it for as long as she could until she could not take it anymore, and she left. I don't think their behavior has changed. You can see even when Jess Hilarious was trying to explain herself, Charlamagne was making jokes. You don't do that when something serious is taking place. That told me that he either does not respect her or take her seriously, or he just doesn't care. And I feel like that iHeart, I call them the master, they use the overseers, which are DJ Envy and Charlamagne, to pit these two Black women against each other. I've seen it in the workplace. When I was in corporate, I sat back and watched, but Black women don't even realize they're being used in that manner because they want to be liked so bad. So I think Loren, I think she may be a good person, but I think that she wanted the job so bad that she was willing to do whatever they asked her to do in order to get the position, whatever the position is that she has. And that's it. I hope that didn't go over my 60 seconds.
No, you're right. Thank you. Feel free to hang out. You're also a priority panelist. Sorry about that, y'all. Let's go with Hershey. Hershey, 85. Welcome. What are your thoughts on this debacle?
Hey, Queen and Palace. Yes, I kind of agree with the last caller. I think Charlamagne and DJ Envy was pretty much gaslighting Jess, because I don't see it in that way. I don't think Jess just don't want her there, period. I think she just don't want her on her segment. Give her her own segment, because at the end of the day, Loren is more reportive. She's more informed. Jess is comedy, whether you like her comedy style or not. So I don't really think it's just, I just don't want her here, period. It's just, why is she forced on my segment? Why is, when I have my thing, she has to be with me? Why can't you give her own segment? And that's what I just think the whole discrepancy is. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. What is wrong with her wanting Loren to have her own segment and not be on hers? That's just all.
Okay, and thank you, Hershey. Thank you. She can't dictate how another employee is utilizing the organization. That's not her job. That's not her role. That's between HR and that's between Lauren's direct supervisor, director, VP, whomever. Just that's unrealistic. That's like somebody else coming to your job or some another coworker saying, you know what, I don't like her doing that role. I want her to be in the hallway cleaning floors. Or don't put her in here. I don't think I don't want her tag team in this meeting with me. Give her her own meeting. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but that's what I get what you're saying, but also I'm just saying, like, Just with the Mess has always been her segment. That's been that since she been permanent on the show. So I'm just saying, what is wrong with asking? I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like she's wrong for how she went about it. Please understand that, because as women, we always have to have a certain way we deal with things. I get that, but still, what is wrong with saying, okay, but this is my stuff, this is my comedy, she's more of a reporter?
Nothing.
What
You
is
can say
wrong
it
with
behind
that?
the scenes. You can ask behind the scenes. She can ask.
Okay.
But they
Yeah,
probably
that's what.
and Fruit Gummy, get in here real quick before. Can you just roll it out in 30 seconds or less from an HR perspective?
Yes. So when it comes to, say you have inquiries about a job or your role, you go to your manager and they follow. It's all a command chain. You can't go in and tell anyone, I want this employee to do this or I want them not to do this. That was never how that was going to work.
All right, short and sweet. Thank you.
Okay, I get that. So
Okay. Hershey, I got to go to
it
the next
all,
person. Hang out,
all in
Hershey.
all, she just was wrong. Yeah,
She what? Say it again. All
I
in all,
said
what?
all in all, it just wasn't. It was just wrong how she handled it. Okay, I get it.
She can still ask though. Yeah. I think it's the open and the crashing out and saying, I don't like you. What's she doing here? I just got back from maternity leave. Yeah. It's not the what, it's the how she did it. I think that's what I believe. I'm gonna come back to this though, Hershey. All right. Follow me, Black TV. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Palace. Hi, Miss Queen Sheba, baby. Um, baby, do it, baby. Anyway, um, I have mixed emotions about this one because I think Jess really reacted out of emotion, not thought. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pissed and here I go. Pull the trigger, bang, bang. She was acting out of her emotions instead of really thinking things clearly because, yes, anytime you have a grievance with your job, there is a certain hierarchy that is preferred. I just can't go kick in your door and say, hey, boss, look at here. So I get that part of it. But you know what? She's worked so hard, y'all. I've been following Jess for a long time, and she's worked hard. And if you guys know, Charlemagne and those guys they're a hard group to work with. I just say that for a woman. And she is not the first woman to have an up. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we letting you talk.
Oh,
Are
okay.
you okay? Yeah, okay. No,
Okay, Queen. Shoot, shucks.
All right.
It was so quiet. I couldn't
No,
understand it. I ain't used to it.
we're polite.
Anyway,
Wait, no, we're polite. No, that's good. That's good. You can stop there because I don't want the white man to come on. For those of you that are tuned
don't you
in.
dare. Don't you pull that trigger, girl.
But
Anyway,
you
I was just saying that I
I
agree with
got
everyone else. It's the way she went about it.
gotcha.
But Charlemagne and them are not a good group to these men. If you look at the history, they are hard on women. You got to be hard, baby. You got to have a hard skin to deal with them. And that's it. And I said what I said. And
All
said,
right. Let's
all
follow me
right, boy.
back TV, everybody. She said what she said. Let's go real quick to How I See It TV. Welcome.
Hi, Queen Sheba. Hi, everyone. I have a question. Um, who? Because everybody on the panel, yesterday on Breakfast Club, they all basically said they don't know what was going on. Lauren didn't know what was going on. Charlemagne, DJ Envy, they don't know what's going on, and Jess Hilarious as well. So my thing is, if the decision was that Loren was supposed to be there temporarily until Jess came back. Did Loren make the executive decision to stay in the fourth chair? Because that's what it's given, which means that Loren is being strategic.
I don't think Loren made the decision. I think she also had questions. The difference between Loren and Jess, Loren is more experienced, more developed. She worked with TMZ. She understands that there are certain things in corporate America that you're not so sure, but you get on, you roll with the team. You know, what is it called? Ambiguities, right?
Yeah, but the reason why I'm saying that though, Queen Sheba, is because again, the decision, the plan was Jess is going on maternity leave. You're in this position until she gets back. She's back. Lauren's job was the senior news producer. So that means once Jess comes back, her role in that chair would have been done. But everybody's saying they didn't know what was going on. So is it that the corporate just felt like, okay, I guess they're doing their thing, we're just gonna let them do it?
You want me to be honest with you, or you want me to say what's right?
No, be honest. That's what we want from you.
Okay, and then instead, feel free to pile on after I give my take, and then I see you back. Let me tell this. Nicole Allen, you're up next. Thank you for your patience, Nicole.
Hey, so
No, give me 1 second, Nicole. I'm coming to you. But I see you. I just wanted to acknowledge that I see you. But you are up next. So Chasing Dreams said it would be the program director that would have made a decision like that, not Loren. Loren does not have that executive power. Now, when I asked you if you want me to be honest, or do you want me to be what was the word I used, y'all?
Politically correct.
Be honest or politically correct.
Okay. I think they're probably going to, anytime there's an uncertainty and you were certain before you left and you're uncertain when you come back, they're probably going to get rid of you. That's it. That's all. The estate, would you like to jump in?
Yeah. And another perspective is when you have someone who has had a major life-changing event in their life and they come back to work, sometimes that work-life balance doesn't work out for them and they decide to stay home versus coming back into the workforce. As a decision maker, you want to make sure that you're in the best position to make sure that there's no lapse in that market for you, especially if it's going really good. So the overlap is to just see what shakes out. You keep the temporary help in until you understand or it's determined that the permanent employee is really on board with the vision.
And a lot of times in corporate America, I'm just trying to teach y'all the game. That's why you have to keep coming over here every Wednesday morning. We host corporate segments. It ain't fair, but a lot of times the person that's sitting right there that's supposed to be temporary is actually your backfill when they get rid of you.
Agreed.
And can I also add to that, Queen, very quickly?
Sure.
Also, if you're underperforming as well. So if she was already underperforming to their expectations and their strategic direction changed while she was out, they could have been looking at, okay, once she's back in the fold, how will this play out? Will we keep it at 4 or will we eventually have 3?
All right. Wow.
Queen,
So
can
they're
I say
laying it out.
one more thing?
Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all, they're laying it out for you. They're laying it out for you. And hey, shout out to my Twitter folks that are logged in from Twitter. Yay, it's our first time in the palace going live on Twitter. So we have like 43 people logged in from Twitter. Listen, I'm excited about that. Thank you, Twitter. Go ahead. How I see it, then I got to go to Nicole.
I wanted to mention too, when Jess came back from maternity leave, I went back this morning because yesterday I was fully Team Loren, but this morning I went back and I watched the episode when Jess came back from maternity leave, and what Loren did in welcoming Jess back was not okay. And I want you to go watch it for yourself and then tell us what you think.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to that. Stay here. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Let me go to Nicole Allen.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience. Nicole Allen, welcome to the palace.
Hello. So I want to address you said something earlier, and I do believe people are missing this. The way Loren is being kind of handled in this situation. It's kind of like, and it does have the appearance that they're trying to put the two women off on each other. But that is so common in the industry. That happens all the time. Women always get the short end of the stick in this industry, period. But I just wanted to address this, and Claudia Jordan said this on an interview, I think yesterday. Did those people know that Jess was pregnant when she signed that contract? That's a big deal. People are missing that. Oh, but she went on maternity leave. She went on maternity leave. But did they know she was pregnant? Did she know? I mean, because that was real close. If her baby is 7 months old and she's only been on that show 13 months, we could do the math. So did she tell those people it was a possibility she was pregnant before she signed that contract? Because that's a big deal. And that could be a reason why they're maybe reconsidering keeping her on or bringing her back. I think her contract is coming up due soon. I mean, when she is under contract, so they can't, just blatantly let her go. But I'm sure those people are working. I know how radio works. They're working in the background, trying to figure out how to get rid of her. And that's why they have Loren there. And she knows it. She senses it. She feels it. The spazzing out online. I mean, call your homegirls and spaz out. You don't go public with it. I have to get on, people about that all the time. Like, keep that off social media. Luckily, like I said, when I started in the industry, we didn't have social media, so we didn't have those issues. But that's a big thing that everybody is missing. If she knew and did not tell them that she was pregnant and there was gonna be a possibility she was gonna have to leave, they were gonna have to pay her and a replacement. People have to understand how the business works. Loren was already there. So Loren is already being paid to do a job. So we'll just let you fill in on air. She did a good job. People liked her. People received her. I mean, Jess wasn't there long enough to build her fan base. You cannot just come on radio for a couple months and think.
They got you, Nicole.
I'm done. I'm done.
Nicole, they got you. I hope you take it all. But that's a great question by Nicole. Nicole was cooking, honey, cooking up a storm, then burnt her time up. Listen, Nicole, it's all in fun. That's a great question. I don't think they can ask, and I don't think she has to tell. Savannah 912, welcome to the palace. You got the floor.
Good afternoon, Queen. Good afternoon, Palace. And I'm going to be quick because I already work for the white man, so I don't want the white man to kick me off for my 90 seconds. But this conversation has been great for the last 2 days. And I've had to take off my mommy hat, my new mom hat, and put on my senior leader hat. And Jess lacks, to me, from what I've been hearing, and I've seen some of the interviews and shows over the last few months, especially with the Wendy Williams story, Jess lacks conversational competence. And one of the things that she said yesterday is that she was telling Loren to hush and shut up because she will overtalk her, especially when there was dead air. There should be no dead air on the radio. And she needs to, if she would have taken the initiative to learn to engage with Loren and share ideas and build on her interpersonal communication skills with Loren, those two could have collaborated and made a hell of a show. But Loren, to me, I'm on Team Loren. I'm sorry, Loren has grit. Loren is a person, I can see her. She had passion and perseverance, and she was focused on the long-term goals here. And Jess does not possess that. She doesn't have a growth mindset. She said yesterday, y'all got excited because she could read. Yes, reading is very important, especially when you're trying to communicate with an audience on the radio. So to me, Jess lacks a growth mindset. And I really need, I agree with the other callers that she was on her way out. All team Loren on this, but I appreciate and love this conversation.
Thank you, Savannah. Thank you for chiming in. Girl, that white man almost got you, but you did good. You did good. That's Savannah 912. Sometimes she comes up on corporate segments on Wednesday morning. The review hour. I see you spinning the block. What you got, Queen?
Yes. I heard you say that you had an HR professional on the panel, and I wanted to ask the question, is it not, say for instance, Jess comes back from maternity leave. She left one way, she had a position, and then when she comes back, it's kind of, the roles had changed. Is it not the company's job to let her know what her role is? Isn't that the reason they have job descriptions? So if that happened when she came back, someone else was operating in her role, shouldn't HR or whoever her immediate supervisor explain to her that things are changing, the roles have changed?
I can answer that if you like, Queen.
Yeah, go ahead.
When she returned back from maternity leave, I can assure you with her manager, they talked about, well, these are potentially what's going to happen. So when she arrived, Loren was in the seat. And then the next few days, she continued to be in the seat. So what would happen in that case is that when she returned, she essentially kept her role, but a part of her work had changed. And that happens in a corporate setting. It would be no difference if you went out on leave, someone was covering a project, they potentially noticed that this person had the skill set needed, and they said, I think we want to keep parts of this project with this person while figuring out how to apply you to the other duties. So essentially just a portion of her work got moved, and they're trying to figure out how to strategically work her back in.
Can I ask? Let me
Can
ask
I
a
ask a
question.
question?
Hold on,
I'm
hold on.
sorry. Can I?
Does anybody in the chat or does anybody that's tuned in currently know how long was Jess at the Breakfast Club before she took maternity leave?
Yep,
Let's
that
pause
matters
there.
About 6 months. About 6 months.
Does anybody know for sure?
I think she announced her pregnancy maybe a couple of months, maybe 3 months after she
It
got
was
hired.
immediate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
How
was
long?
immediate after she got the position.
No. Okay, my question is, how long was she there before she took maternity leave?
6 months.
Okay.
Because she
Okay.
announced it 3 months that she was pregnant, announced her pregnancy 3 months after
Okay,
she
so
started.
6 months is not a long time for a corporation to value you. Let's keep it real. You're still considered a new hire. See, I think what we're confusing and what we're playing on is the social media status, the celebrity persona of it all. But 6 months is not a lot of time for you to really be there and make a dent in the blueprint as it relates to the strategy, the business strategy, the influence, the engagement, reeling in a new audience, helping with the numbers. It's just not enough. What do you think? Let me go to the set.
Agreed. She was the new kid on the block. So she was just becoming acclimated with her role as well as the powers that be were becoming acclimated with what she can bring to the table. So to think that you are a decision maker and can call the shots is really asinine to me. But, I don't know.
All right. All excellent comments. We've been on here. We'll give it 10 more minutes and we'll wrap up because we'll keep it at 1 hour and 30 minutes. Listen, Twitter is acting a fool. We got like over 70 viewers in. So thank you, Twitter. Shout out to my folks at Twitter. We appreciate you all pulling up to listen to the palace. Welcome. Ladies, any questions, any final thoughts as it relates to all of this? You can stand on business. We don't have to agree. You know what I mean? You're welcome to share your final thoughts on all of this. Let's start with Hershey.
My final thought is, and this is real basic, if Jess is comedy and Loren is more of a journalist, would they be able to mesh together, or are they too different of a segment to actually be together? Because Jess admitted that she don't really research. She reads the story and give commentary, like, being funny, or what she's thinking at the time, while Loren is more research. So would they been able to merge together if they so much different in how they approach their segments? Because I do believe Black women can be dynamic together, don't get me wrong, but I mean I'm just asking.
Okay, let me ask you, would they have been?
I think if they did did calls together and try to okay, well, this is how we're going to implement this is how we're going to implement that, but it has to be a chemistry.
So would that be a yes or no? Would that
I don't know, because Jess is upset now and Loren is confused on her role, so I don't even know if they can even come back to even try to work together.
Don't even get that deep. Based on what you just said, with Jess being a comedian and Loren being a journalist, professional media person, would they have been able to work together?
I believe so. I
Okay.
really do.
Okay.
If the
Hold on.
situation was handled, okay.
Okay. Hold on. Lauren did try to call her to prepare her, to help her.
Okay.
She didn't like that. She cursed Lauren out.
Oh, I ain't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. She did. All
Okay,
right.
well then, my
Yep.
question answered. All right.
Okay. No, thank you, Hershey. I wanted to get that was a great question. That was an excellent question. Let me go to Savannah. Savannah, final thoughts.
Final thoughts is, and I agree with you. Lauren tried to help Jess. I think that um, being in corporate, we don't operate on feelings. I want to see who's bringing the numbers. Were the numbers higher with Lauren on the radio or Jess on the radio? And as far as I heard, since she's gotten the position, Jess has not been able to connect to an audience and bring those numbers in. Also, and I hate to because I'm a mom, but the maternity leave and having a baby, that's personable to only one person. That doesn't affect the mission and the goals of the company. So if they and we said that they try to work with her and make her comfortable, and that still wasn't enough for Jess. So I say dust off your resume, post it on LinkedIn, Indeed, and I think Jess will be looking for a new job soon.
You, Savannah. All right. Thank you, Savannah. Luminous says with just being under contract, the company cannot do what they want to do. They're not with her. Jess's problem is she's sticking her nose in Lauren's professional business. Jess is set. Jess is there. Jess is just concerned why is there another woman here? How come why is she here? Her role was supposed to be temporary. So nothing has changed for Jess. They just added a new player to the game. Unfortunately, that's none of her business, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, I know I'm saying it like straightforward. Listen, somebody gave me okay, all right. Aqua Queen says they looked it up. Jess allegedly requested maternity leave 1 week into the job. I know you lying. I hope that's not true. I hope that is not true.
Oh my God.
Because if so, they're going to walk her out of there. All right, let me go to How I See It TV.
I feel like both women can coexist. I feel right now there is a little bit of ill feelings because the show this morning was very weird. So they're gonna have to work through that. Hopefully they can get it together. But remember too to look for the
Uh-oh, your audio disconnected. Let me go to the review hour. Your audio, I'm gonna come back to you. Let's go to the review hour. Your final thoughts to review hour.
Yes. The first thing I wanted to mention is even if Jess uh, informed them that she was pregnant 1 week into the job, more than likely she already knew. But I don't think she should be punished for that, because that's a problem if a woman has to be scared to tell a person in an interview that she's pregnant and not get the job. So more than likely that's why she kept it to herself, because maybe she knew that industry still operates that way. And if she had revealed it, then she would not have gotten the job. And so I don't think anyone should be punished or not hired because they happen to be pregnant. So hopefully, that culture is out of here. And the second thing, I think Jess, again, she made the wrong move going to the internet. That's not to say that she did not feel or notice a change when she came back, but knowing that with how she did it, she needs to prepare. They're not going to keep her, because you don't go out and air your dirty laundry on the internet about your company. So she needs to prepare and also take this time to polish herself if she decides to go back into any type of job, corporate, what have you. She needs to know the rules. You just can't, blow up and just have an outburst about your coworkers and your boss and think that everything is going to go well. So the best to her, but I think they're going to let her go. And they probably should, because she doesn't show discipline. You have to be disciplined when you work in these places, and you just can't have outbursts whenever you want to about
I
your
agree.
employer.
I agree.
And
All
that's it.
right. That's the review hour. We're going to wrap up, y'all. We got 3 minutes. The Estette Noir, what are your final thoughts?
The review hour hit it on the head. My closing thought was for just to do some introspection, take this as a learning experience, apologize, not just to Lauren, but to her other colleagues and the network, and then resign and close the door quietly.
Thank you, the Estette. Listen, okay, Fruit Gummy, final thoughts on today's segment.
I think this is a great segment, and kudos to everyone that spoke today. I will say that it's unfortunate that it shook out this way, but I think there's an important lesson for Jess and for everyone that's viewing this to know. Regardless of whether you feel that you've been done right or wrong in a situation like this at your job, always maintain your level of professionalism. If she felt she was not getting the clarity that she wanted, then that's when it was her responsibility to prepare what she would want for her future. It was irresponsible and unprofessional to not only blast the corporation online, but in the crosshair. Now Loren is getting shots. And if it's one thing that stuck out to me on social media, is that when there's not a lot of people that you've seen in that space before, that you always want to keep the door open for the next person. So not only could this possibly impact Just Hilarious, but maybe the next time they look for someone else with her background or her experience, they might be a little bit more hesitant. So just be careful.
All right. Aren't they smart, y'all? Don't we have some very, man, these ladies are on fire today. Thank you, panel. Thank you for coming up and giving your professional opinions and just your thought leadership on it all. Listen, we can agree to disagree. There was so many different valid viewpoints. I mean, everybody makes sense. It's just unfortunate, Jess. I just hate that you allowed what was in your head to come out of your mouth. And if it's true that you asked for 1 week, being 1 week into the role, if it's true, if that is indeed a fact, a company would feel slighted. A company would feel slighted. Do you have to tell them? No. Can they ask you legally? No. But if we're talking about transparency, did she give them now what she's asking for? No. So you are what you attract. You came in through the door. You were not open about your real life event. We call it a real life event. Now you want them to be open when you didn't disclose. Does that make sense? You are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
You
you
can.
saying something like your feelings are not facts. So we have to take feelings out of you. Always have to stay professional. So
All right. Well, thank you for coming up, panel. I'm gonna let everybody drop down because they said it sounds like a water wave. Let me stop sharing my screen. I don't know if it's me. Thank you, everybody. Stop sharing. Does it still sound like a water wave up here? Let's see.
No, I hear you okay, Queen.
Okay. Audience, let me know if I still sound like a water wave. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I need to put my overlay back on. It could be me. Pardon me if there's any all right, so look, we have a couple of comments I would like to get to really, really quick in the next 60 seconds. Thank you all. Thank you. Sugar says, whoop, whoop. Great conversation. It was. And I think it was a necessary conversation, if I have to be honest. Necessary. I wish the best for Jess, but you got to show yourself approved when you walk into these corporations. And a part of that is emotional management, a level of self-awareness, and being able to maintain yourself, no matter what's going on in real life. Indigo Girl says this conversation should be private. The same thing they're blaming is the same thing they're using, the internet. That's true. I agree with you. I cannot disagree. Crystal says we have a social media policy in my company. Okay, we have a social media policy in my company job. iHeart should implement one. I'm sure they have one, but it's a very tricky situation from a legal standpoint. You really can't fire her because she can say you fired me because I was pregnant, right? There's legalities around this. There's also a 120-day rule for those of you that are not familiar with it. If an employee if they verbalize a grievance out loud on social media, whatever it is, right? Within 120 days, legally within a corporation, you don't want to dismiss them or remove them from the job because it can be considered retaliation. That's a 120-day rule, right? You don't want to do anything. You don't want to fire them. You don't want to terminate them. It can be considered retaliation. But within 121 days and upwards, there's no risk. So I'm going to be watching this closely. I hope things pan out for the good of all of those involved, but who knows at this point? Who knows at this point, considering. With that being said, let me get to my super chats really quickly, and we are out of here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me.
All right, Palace, the Super Chat Squad is in the building. We appreciate you, baby. The Super Chats are fire. Get in your bag. That's a lot of money.
All right. Thank you, Shay P, with a 5-piece and a pepper. She says, if Jess had an issue with Loren doing her segment, then she should have come up with something different and better to show her added value. You know what? That's a great recommendation. And I love that, Shay P. If you're going to complain, you better have a solution. How about we do this? If you're going to complain or knock it down, what do you recommend? And she did. Excellent advice. Real quickly, IMT Authentically says, I honestly believe Jess underestimated Loren, especially if she handpicked her. I think so too. I think Loren sat back and did what she was told. She was fluid. She was a team player. She was collaborative, and may have underestimated her and effed around and found out this girl is really sharp. Charlene says the company doesn't belong to Jess or anyone else on that Breakfast Club show. They're all replaceable. And at the end of the day, people don't want to work with anyone that's difficult to deal with. We saw that with Fox Soul, with the likes of Claudia Jordan, Funky Dineva, Al Reynolds, and who else was it? Those were the top 3. They could not get it right. And at the end of the day, the entire show was canceled. I have to agree with you. Aqua Queen says, I don't know why she couldn't form a sisterhood with Loren and stand toe-to-toe with the guys. That would have made great radio because she wasn't prepared. She didn't want to prepare. She didn't want to do anything extra. Loren tried to help her. Because even if she would have done a little bit of extra research and paired that with her comedic expression, man, not only would she have been funny, she could have gone a little bit deeper with Loren. They could have tag teamed those guys. It would have been magic on air, period, point blank. Audrey Clark says people need to use their ethics and morals instead of agreeing with someone doing wrong because they like Jess as a comedian. Jess is wrong on so many levels. Who is managing this company? HB5, thank you for your comment. It says it's a lot of factors involved. The iHeart execs didn't help with communication. That doesn't give Jess the right to go off. Nothing was solved except now the execs can make their move. Let me tell you something. They've probably already made it. It's just a matter of time. Tammy Bolds says Jess did an interview where she said that she was pregnant but didn't tell them. Wow. Okay, last but not least, Sugar Dumpling. Nope, I think the ratings went up while Loren was hosting and she was out on maternity leave. That's what I believe. It's about money with these companies. Y'all didn't know that? And with that being said, thank you everybody for tuning in. This was a hell of a conversation. Thank you. Thank you, Twitter. All right, thank you everybody. Have a beautiful day.